Hello and welcome to another special video again with Farvifian Guard. Check out his channel. He does a lot of cool videos and has strong opinions. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that should really go in a series I was doing was how nobody would fix. And today we're going to talk about roadmaps. And not the type we get at a gas station. They don't even carry them in a lot of gas stations now, Farv. Did you know that?
You still get them at truck stops or certain
Yeah.
highway side places,
I
but
don't
most people use their phones now.
I
So,
don't go to the racetrack gulag. I only
oh
go to the
god.
fine place of Quick Trip.
Okay,
Okay,
Crowder.
let's get on the topic. So far, my video series is effectively trying to saying these are things I would do if through some weird instance I was given the head position at Games Workshop. So
Right.
you want to hear what my pitch is for roadmaps and how they would be operated.
Provided the Games Workshop had anything to roadmap, yeah, let's theoretically go with that.
Okay. So from the ground up, I would basically have done a shakeup through the company, fired a bunch of people, created a talent hunting program in both Black Library and for modeling. I would start recrediting artists and writers. Um, I would go through a whole bunch of things, and I'd go through the pain of basically going, the Primaris was a lie. It's all normal Space Marines. Combine those two lines and go from there. So the roadmap would work like this. I would go, okay, every year, all active game systems get a full and concise roadmap. So what is a roadmap in this regard? It is from this period to that period, you'll get X, Y, and Z. It will be for whatever. So let's say let's say it's Age of Sigmar. Let's say, okay, mid-year or towards the end of that year, a new faction. We'll be talking about that in the months leading up, but wink and a nudge, we're going to start working towards a new faction being added. Throughout for each of the months before that, there would be a clear, okay, this is coming out for this group, that group, or whatever. So
Right.
let's say beginning of the year, you get like a new Stormcast unit or character, piece of terrain for another faction, a rules update, or hey, we're going to have this campaign book and it's going to be talking about this stuff and it's going to come out this like mid-year and on and on and on. Something so that people can plan ahead and understand what's coming in the future and what to look forward to.
All right.
Because unfortunately, right now, Games Workshop basically drip feeds people stuff and
Yeah.
keeps everyone in the dark, which is an unhealthy business relation to have with
Well,
customers.
it's a bad practice from a company that already has absolute 100% triple distilled dog shit customer relations.
And I think these are required for their lines because, yes, you're going to have people who are going to but you're going to also see what happens with a lot of lines over time because
Mm-hmm.
FOMO, hype, dread, all of these emotions will lead to apathy, and you'll start losing more people than you gain as you start losing well, it's basically the gotcha thing. So as they use a lot of mystery and oh, you never know what's coming up and a lot of hype, and that works for a while until people are just hyped out. You burn them out, and I don't think they're going to maintain the kind of inflow as you would expect for a lot of things. So let's talk Horus Heresy for a second.
Huh.
It's really one of the only game lines at this point I care at all about when it comes to Games Workshop.
From what I've seen,
Um,
apart from the shills and the tournament fanboys, you're not alone in that distinction.
so there's some really basic things that need to be done because there are types of armies that don't have units or options for units outside of 3D printing and third parties to really plan for things. So I've made my arguments that a release should be a full release of all of the basic options, but that's neither here nor there. That'd be another change I'd make. But Horus
Hmm.
Heresy is plagued by this thing where we don't know when anything's coming out. We don't know when things are going to be done with anything.
And I would argue that that's kind of almost Games Workshop universally.
Well, it's with all their lines. I'm just using that one for the example. So
Fair.
we haven't had an AFAQ in 2 years for
Oof.
pretty much anything.
Has it been actually 2 fucking
It's
years?
been 2 years. There was a minor one for one of the campaigns, if I remember right, but it's not been much. And there's a lot of things that really do need some adjustments or clarifications. Or, hey, maybe this one gauntlet shouldn't be different in all the different regions we released the book in. Things like that. So there's a big problem with people just not knowing what's coming for the system, and a lot of people just kind of going, because I've been noticing people are, it's a dead game in my area. Uh,
Very much in our area, yeah.
there is no one talking about it. There is no one playing it.
There's
There is
one
no,
store carrying their stuff locally.
and they've mostly like shifted off the heresy stuff. They only carry 40K, and it's the same 40K stuff that's been there collecting dust.
Yeah, although
Um,
he says he's been getting new stuff, but I kind of have a suspicion he's saying that just to keep up
well,
good fucking
that's not
business.
to besmirch the store owner.
No,
It's
not at
just to
all.
say our problem has been for a long time is that there's no understanding of what and when something's coming out, so people can maintain their interest or go, okay, I'll
Hmm.
wait till that comes out and then I'm going to invest in this so that I can do the thing I want. It's a bunch of people came in because they got overhyped for the second edition of Horus Heresy. There was not a lot of stuff there, and then they walked out. Now, we got a lot of tanks and things like that, but
Hmm.
we don't have plastic breachers. It took them forever to get the assault marines out,
Definitely true.
on and on and on and on. And I think the problem is there's no clarity and understanding, because I don't even think the studio in a lot of cases knows what they're going to be doing when it comes to Horus Heresy, and I don't think there's a lot of passion there. So I know it's kind of
I
all
would
over
argue
the
there doesn't seem to be
place.
much passion from most of their divisions.
Well, it's hard enough to find a Horse Heresy Thursday, but
Yeah, that
there
actually
really
is about freaking the Horus Heresy stuff. It's
there
usually some
really needs to
Imperialis bullshit.
there really needs to be a concise roadmap that people know where they're going to when they go from A to Z, where they're going to end up. And the problem is right now we don't
No
know.
such thing exists.
Is well, like, okay, you're an AdMech player. When am I going to get the other options for my army? Who knows? Whenever GW feels like, are you playing the Imperial Army? Well, good luck. You never know
Yeah.
when it actually go from a resin unit that costs a ridiculous amount to a plastic unit that costs a ridiculous but slightly
Yeah.
less amount. The problem ends up being is that people suddenly go, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to come. It's hard for me to maintain excitement, and it feels like the company wants to wait for something to mostly sell out before they bring the obvious plastic version of it out. It feels very scummy in that regard, and I think this is hurting the game in the long term. It's not the
Of course
short
it
term.
is.
It's the short term thinking is hurting it in the long term, and
That's for damn sure.
the lack of clarity, the lack of people being sure that the thing is going to be there in a year or two. The
Hmm.
the feeling that you're kind of always on the edge of something just potentially going away. I feel for the imperialist people, but I think all of the lines need roadmaps that clearly define what is coming out, when it's coming out,
That
and
would help.
how it's coming out. And Games Workshop has just failed at this. And the roadmaps that they gave last year, garbage. Utter
Absolute garbage, yeah.
trash. Tell you nothing. I want ones that would be set out and it would tell you each month what you're getting, exactly what you're getting, and how much you're going to get it for. I would change it to be a requirement for every one of the studios and our departments to do. Um, I would also change how the community section work in that, for example, using again the Horus Heresy, we get the Horus Heresy Thursdays. You would get 2 Horus Heresy Thursdays a month. One would be a product that's coming out. So here's the official announcement, just as a reminder for anyone who might have not been paying attention to the roadmap. Bam! It's coming out this month. Huzzah! And then the other part would be something like a designer's thing where they're talking about things they're wanting to bring into the game in the future, or why we're adding this, or why we're doing X, why we're doing Z, asking questions, getting interactions, taking in
Yeah.
input. Or it would be a thing of, hey, here's one of the guys that's been playing the game, here's his personal project. Something to at least
Anything to promote, something other
remove
than
it
complacency and silence.
remove it from being a pure, well, we threw something up randomly just because it's this day.
Mm-hmm.
I would try to make it where people have the most knowledge and information possible, while at the same time removing it as such an overwhelming marketing issue. And
I can
I know
agree with that.
it's been very rambly. I apologize to anybody for just how absolutely kind of bouncing off the walls this was. We're dealing with the loss of a beloved animal. Uh, my dad just had surgery, and we're kind of nervous about what's up with him. We're hoping he's not got any complications. So it's been a bit of a difficult time. So
That's a word for it, yeah.
if people would like me to actually talk in a less frazzled manner about roadmaps or things of that manner, just let us know in the comment sections. And I apologize for the slipshod nature of it all. And of course, check out Fav's channel. He does a number of different video games. He's pretty upfront about it, and he's just a fun guy. Or at least look at Astrobot. That's a fun game. So, is there anything you'd like to add, Farv?
Oh man. I've seen this as a problem with GW for a while, this customer hostile behavior.
Yeah.
And I don't honestly foresee it's going to change. If anything, I think as time goes on, it will get worse as they keep trying to seem to shift the license around as like just an IP licensing thing. But
Yeah.
that's all I got. I think that's enough for now, frankly.
So, thanks for joining us, everybody. You're wonderful for putting up with the rambling. And if you got this far, just post a head popper giant slayer. Bye bye.
Later.